huge thank you. The last videos have had a huge response, and I'm so glad to be bringing you another video today. This time on everything I think that you'll need to know regarding the marketplace. I'll be breaking down the math on everything from royal crystals to purple crystals down to the market exchange, and explaining the currency exchange, some items that I think that you would like to buy as well. I do appreciate your time. This is a little bit of a longer guide, but I have left timestamps down below, and that way you can go ahead and scrub through the video and find out what's important to you. A quick disclaimer: the endorsing nor berating the spending of real world currency falls within the scope of this video. Please consider your personal circumstances to determine if spending real world money on this video game is for you or not. In-game purchases are not necessary to your long-term success. This guide is going to cover both sides of that. Okay, so flipping on over to the game here, we've got all sorts of different currency types. You can see these currency types here. The ones that we're going to be focused on today are crystals, gold, the royal crystals, which are here in the shop, and the marketplace. I assume you already know, but royal crystals are the premium currency, i.e. real money equals video game money. If you didn't, now you do. You can buy them by clicking the buy button here in the bottom left, and you can see this here. Royal crystals are used for a variety of things, as are purple crystals. Royal crystals are generally used to buy purple crystals so that you can use them to exchange here in Mario's Secret Shop. For players seeking purple crystals in order of worst to best, the worst possible option is going to be the currency exchange, which you can access here in the bottom right of the shop. Purchasing gold with royal crystals and translating those into purple crystals is about 2.5 royal crystals for every 1 purple crystal. This completely depends on your server. If your server is a 1-to-1 buy, meaning the gold that you spend here, or the gold that you get from the royal crystal exchange is equal to the amount of gold that you spend to get purple crystals, then it is about 2.5 royal crystals per 1 crystal. Again, this depends completely on your server and these prices here. The second worst option is these here. Anything that doesn't have anything special labeled next to it. This is about 2.35 royal crystals per 1 purple crystal. You can see in the 3600 pack, you'll be spending 8,460 royal crystals to get 3,600 purple crystals. 2.35 royal crystals per 1 purple crystal. Then you've got the weekly pack. Weekly pack is 2.25 royal crystals per 1 purple crystal. The monthly pack is 2.22 royal crystals, and it is the best bang for your buck royal crystal chest, which is renewable, meaning that you can obtain it multiple times, obviously once per month. It's very important to note, if you buy these T1, T2, T3 crystal packs, they are a better deal. It is 2.11 royal crystals per 1 purple crystal, but the T1 chest alone requires that you have at least 1200 gear score to fully open. One chest inside of another. Each tier that you open, you'll receive some crystals and the next item level chest up. This product deceived me when I first purchased it myself, so make sure that you agree with what you're purchasing before you do. Alright, so this is the best bang for your buck here. This is the level 50 complete pack. Big surprise, but this is 0.44 royal crystals per 1 crystal, which is 5 times better than any of the other deals. Now, what I recognize from the translation from real world dollars to in-game currency is 100 crystals is about $2.11 to $2.50, generally ranging around the $2.35 range. So when you buy one of these bad boys, the minor life energy potion times 5 for 100 purple crystals, you're spending about 2.5 USD, probably a bit closer to $2.35 USD. This calculation does not take into account the 10, 15, and 20% bonuses that you get from the royal crystal packs, so just keep that in mind. Okay guys, I think we got the basics of obtaining purple crystals pretty well covered, so now I want to talk about the currency exchange, and I'll be honest, this looks like absolute nonsense the first time you look at it, but check this out. Just ignore this top right box. It doesn't matter. In the bottom right corner of the screen here, you'll have 3 tabs. You should be on the first one here, the purchase gold. This will only be if you have royal crystals and are trying to get gold out of them. You'll always sell a minimum of 238 royal crystals, so $2.38 USD. For the sale price of gold. This sale price is totally dependent on this table here in the top left. The first column shows how many royal crystals are in queue. It reads from bottom to top. This is the lowest deal, 685 gold. So for the first 4,000 royal crystals that are purchased in game, you're going to see this person get 685 gold. If I wanted to undercut them, I would type 684 and post an offer for that, and my offer would be on the bottom, meaning that I would get that sale first. The smarter option, for my opinion, would be to list them at 694 here, so that once this sale is up, I'll be next in line. And as you can see, we had the 695 just come first in line. Understanding this, if you're going to be spending royal crystals to get gold, is very important. This will help maximize the amount of gold that you're able to get. Now, if you go over to the second tab for the buy purple crystal screen, this is the amount of gold that you're going to be spending to obtain 95 purple crystals. This relates to the table here in the bottom left. Right now, this is the highest offer for that amount of crystals. So this person's offering 620 gold for 200 purple crystals. You will be able to lower this number, and that will help you to be able to obtain these at a cheaper cost than what the system enters in for you. It is trying to get you to spend more gold than you actually need to. So make sure to keep an eye on that. And that's basically how you use the currency exchange. To collect your money, you'll just go over to the history tab here. You can see all the previous transactions that you've made, and you can claim your crystals or your gold here. All right, so you guys have learned the currency exchange. Let's come up for some air real quick. I did just want to go into a few details on some of the things that you can buy with some of the items. All right, so spending your gold. There's quite a few different things that you can do here. My favorite is knowledge transfer by far. Your knowledge transfer is actually going to help excel your account so much. The knowledge transfer out of 1 to 50 is so important. Once you hit 50 for the first time, you're going to be able to spend about 600 gold, or exactly 600 gold, to get the next character up to level 50. In fact, all the way up to tier 1. So fun fact, you don't actually need to go all the way down to the guy here on the map right here. This is generally where you do knowledge transfer. You can actually just click this tab right here, knowledge. If you click that, you'll be able to see the transfer targets. You'll have to be on the character that you need to transfer the knowledge to, meaning that you'll have to unlock your songbook to be able to access your stronghold. Once you've done that, go ahead and just access this tab, hit transfer target, and you'll be spending 600 gold to get that character to T1. Now, you're only going to be able to do this with 9 characters. So you can see here, if you look over the search button, you can see 5 of 9. I've already done 5 characters, knowledge transfer to tier 1. After that, you're going to have to run through the rest of the game from 1 to 50. Then, after 50, get tier 1, and then basically from scratch. So you can only do this 9 times. For each of the next tiers up, 1 through 9, but there's different requirements. If you hover over this magnifying glass, you're going to see that for the second knowledge transfer, 3 characters have to complete this quest line. That's the same for all of these, the last one being basically the same as the other 2. The next thing, here's something that you might not know, maybe you do. If you access your storage, you can open up your extra roster storage by purchasing roster storage slots. There's a horizontal bar here. If you click it, it'll offer an option to purchase additional roster slot storages for crystals. I've already purchased all of mine, so mine are already all the way full. Very important and helpful if you're trying to transfer or store a lot of items between characters. Another thing that you can do is if you open your card catalog and you go to the 3rd tab, you'll be able to expand the cards that you can hold by clicking this button, expand catalog slots. You'll be spending a variety, increasing number of purple crystals in order to expand these slots, and that'll make it so you're not pressured to try and enhance cards or get rid of cards or not accept cards in your inventory. Super helpful. Buying gear. I want to talk to you guys about this. Buying gear can be helpful if you are trying to purchase specific items through tier 2 that have specific engravings. That way you can flesh out your build. It's very important that you can be able to purchase. If you need advice on how to set up your presets in your searching in your marketplace, then go ahead and check my other video. But basically, you'll go into your market auction house, click the advanced search here, and then you'll have different presets depending on the different accessories that you're trying to buy. This will change the tier here and the rank and the quality, and then you'll be able to add the different engraving effects. This does work with ability stones here. You just want to make sure that this is empty, this box here, when you're looking for ability stones. One thing I'd highly recommend is once you get to the end of tier 1, what I mean by that is all of your gear is plus 15, then you're going to probably want to consider buying some really cheap tier 2 gear. You can do that by going here to the auction house here, clicking gear all, tier 2, and search, and that buy now price is a little too high, so we're going to want to buy the cheapest tier 2 gear that we can. This is going to require some fions. Every time that you buy one of these items, it's going to require one of these fions here, which you generally are given quite a bit through, just progressing the game. But buy some tier 2 gear, especially if you haven't run your chaos dungeon for the day, because that is going to allow you to start building on that tier 2 gear right away. You won't have to run a chaos dungeon to get tier 2 gear, and then that will enable you to be able to run the higher tier dungeons right away. Once you hit plus 15 on all your gear, do that right away. Buy some cheap tier 2 gear for your class and go ahead and use your previous plus 15 gear as a honing material to your new tier 2 gear. Your tier 1 plus 15 gear can be used to enhance to get your new tier 1 or new tier 2 gear to +1. Basically, just spend some time looking over the market and consider what it is you need. If you are looking for some specific engravings to get that Cursed Doll 3 or Grudge 3 engraving effect, this is one way that you can do it. Tier 3 is a little bit harder. You are going to want to try and earn that gear yourself. Tier 2, though, you can customize and mix and match those engravings to get yourself exactly where you want to be on each of yours. Now, this video wasn't intended as a market analyzation guide, and actually that kind of guide is really hard to make because each server's market is going to be different. But if you want me to make another video explaining a few base rules, let me know. Okay, here's something that you might not know. Let's go back to the store. Looking at the skin pack. Just as an example, the LR skin set versus the LR skin set. You might see, oh, well, one's purple crystals, one royal crystal, and that there's more than that. Actually, if you look over the box that pops up to the top right here, on the royal crystal pack, it does say tradable. The purple crystal pack is untradeable. This is very important. If you intend on buying one of these purple royal crystal packs to resell, you're not going to be able to. That is your pack forever. You cannot resell the purple crystal skin packs. That said, sometimes it's cheaper to actually buy the items that are in a set individually than it is to spend the royal crystals to buy it outright. What I mean by that is if you have 2,000 royal crystals and you want the LR skin set, might as well come over here and check the math on the currency exchange to see exactly how much gold that you can get for your 20 USD and compare that to the skins here in the marketplace. So there's a few pages here. Here's the LR skin set. You can see the cheapest price is 5,200 gold. If we go back to the store, back into the currency exchange. Okay, in this case, it's right about what you'd spend either way. Some of these margins are not as tight. For example, the Vanquisher pack, for a long time, it was cheaper to just buy the gold from the currency exchange using your royal crystals and then buy each of those items individually than to purchase the full pack by itself. Now, if you're going to be using the currency exchange, try doing this in off hours. A lot of times you can notice a difference of 200 gold or more in some cases. On my server, I've seen this fluctuate between 800 to 1,000 gold before the bot ban. Now it fluctuates anywhere from, like 600 gold to 750 gold. It's going to be different depending on your server. So just keep an eye on it. Sometimes the gold, you get a lot more bang for your buck at about 3 in the morning versus peak hours like on the weekend. Here's an important tip. If you are looking here in the Marty's Secret Shop and you're purchasing some of these items, you don't have to claim them right away. For example, if you purchase a tier 1 pack of the honing stones, the leap stones, you don't need to claim these right away. If you claim this on a character that's about to hit tier 2 and you claim a bunch of them and you have too many left over, those don't transfer. You can highlight over the item and you can see binds when obtained. Now, there are some items that don't bind when obtained. For example, the Guild Honor banners, they bind to roster on pickup, meaning that these are safe to claim. So you can just claim this item, go into your storage, and transfer that item directly into your roster storage without worrying about waiting to claim. For example, the shards, don't go ahead and claim too many shards. If you have 30,000 shards, burn those up, then start claiming those items from your product inventory here. Now, as far as recommended items and what I would buy, I would definitely go ahead and buy maybe some leap stones here. This is the #1 buy for me. I usually do my daily chaos dungeons to try and get enough guardian stones, break down my armor, what I don't sell anyways, and that will give me guardian stones and all the different owning materials that I need, the shards and all that. If I need extra, then I'll go ahead and buy them off the shop at that point. The second tab, I would check the prices on a couple of things. For example, the legendary rare card packs. There are fluctuating prices, at least with these. So this 3-pack at 197 purple crystals is 65 purple crystals per 1 card pack. Here's a blatant example here is the legendary card pack here is 45 purple crystals each. So this is much cheaper to buy individually, or in some cases you can get them for even cheaper. But yeah, usually the single ones are 45 and then the 3 packs are 65 each. So just make sure that you're not paying too much. There's no rush. Get these as they come, but save your purple crystals as you get them because they are valuable and you're not going to want to spend more than you have to. As far as the War-Torn trade skill tab here, what I would recommend buying is maybe these Unitas Daily. You don't really need to. Minor Life Energy Potions are nice to have. Stronghold Energy Potions are nice to have, but none of them are really important. The ones that I buy all the time are my Guild Honor Banners. Again, they're not really that important, but they're good to use on alts, especially if you're trying to get some extra bloodstones to try and get your daily honing materials. You can pretty easily get some bloodstones without having to do too much if you get these Guild Honor Banners. You can use them by going in here and hitting support research, and they can be used twice on research each day, once on the guild donations, and that will help give your guild a little bit of an extra boost. So now to go all the way to the left and see the stock that's about to rotate, click this arrow right here below the timer, and that's going to take you all the way to the left. These are the items that are about to rotate out. So once this timer runs up, these are gone forever. So buy these first, and then start working your way to the right here and buy these as you need them. I always recommend the honing materials, the shards, the fragments, or the stones. These are okay, the solar protections. You get a lot of these though from running the boss rush, and you get a lot from running all the extra instances that you get different tickets for. You get a lot from maps if you decide that you want to go and do maps. The single player maps, those are the crafted maps that you get from the relics through the excavating. And if you're interested in trying to learn how to excavate, I've got another great guide for that, so make sure to check out my channel for that. There's one more thing that I just realized that I wanted to go over with you guys, and that is the Punican wall selection chests and the door selection chests. So when you get these, you're only actually going to get the one single door or one single wall or one single rooftop, so on and so forth. And you can kind of see this is the example house for the schematic that it gives you. Each of these crystal purchases is just one of these walls. So don't expect to get a full house from 40 royal crystals purchased. You're not going to. Kind of cool, but also not really what I thought that I was going to get whenever I first bought that. So just, keep that in mind. And one last bonus tip. Thank you guys so much for watching the video all the way to the end. Just as an extra bonus tip, if you do look over a tradable item, for example, this engraving recipe, and you hold control and right click, you'll be able to search market. You can do this on any purchasable item, and this is a great way to check the market prices on all your items before you list them on the marketplace and go in and sell those. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. I know it gets repetitive hearing it from everyone, but I would really like to see this channel grow. Getting this video out was a bit of a struggle. I had my last monitor actually fall on top of me. I had to buy a new monitor, things that I needed to work through as well. But good news is basically the day the monitor fell on top of me, I found a really nice printer just laying on the side of the road. So, karma and all that comes around. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and thanks again, and have yourself an amazing day. Ciao.